You cannot be disciplined to an emotion. It's a lot of people, they go and they get motivated. I want to watch motivation. Like you may go, I'm going to watch this guy, Anthony, man, he's motivation. I'm not focused on motivating you. I'm focused on getting you to the exact reason that you keep failing, the exact reason why you can't create momentum, the exact reason why you're trying a bunch of stuff, but you're struggling to get or stay disciplined. For a lot of us, that's the biggest issue. Right? We think it's like, I got to be motivated every single day and I got to have the energy. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people who are successful don't have the energy every day to do it, but it still gets done at high quality, high levels. I can be honest, I am not 100% motivated in this very moment. Like I love what I do and I care, but I'm not like out here the same motion of like, yeah, let's go do that thing and jump off a cliff and skydive. It's gonna be so great. Like that's not the same kind of energy. At the same time, sometimes I wake up and I'm on fire, right? But there's days that I'm not. I'm like in between today. But it's not a problem because it doesn't mean I'm not gonna do the thing that must be done to succeed. See, for me, when I look at the life that I live and what I've created and what everyone who's successful has, it's based on discipline, purely discipline. Can I do what I say I'm gonna do and can I bring myself to the moment? Imagine I played professional football. Do you think that I could show up to a game and go, hey coach, I'm just not motivated today. I'm not gonna do it. Like, no, you find a way to get up, a way to get going, to get amped, to get geeked up for what you're doing, right? So today, like I woke up and I go, I'm good, feel comfortable, but I need to serve people. This video's gonna live for a long time, so I can't be on this thing giving a little bit, giving kind of, right? I gotta show up the way I gotta show up for a game when it's coming time to prepare and actually show. So for me, I go, well, how do you do it? Well, it's discipline. I gotta stay disciplined. See, when I found myself in 2020, an interesting dynamic, I was a little bit heavy. I was at about 250 pounds. My playing weight was about 240. And at 250, I was not the same fat to body mass of muscle orientation I used to be. I was a chubby bunny, man. And so I found myself in this dynamic going, well, I need to lose weight. I was actually to the point where I could barely do a squat without my knees hurting. There's so much pressure and just fat built. It was bad, man. And so what I said is I got to lose this weight. But I can't do it off of how I feel. So we all think that the emotion's what drives you. I get up and I feel like it. But you know as well as I do, there are days you have all these amazing intentions and emotions in a moment when you're planning, but the execution moment shows up and you don't feel like doing it. No matter what happened or what's going on, your body goes, I don't want to do it today. But you still got to get it done. So I subjected myself to a process that in time allowed me to lose 37 pounds. And what I found was it had nothing really to do with motivation. There was none. It wasn't like I was tapping back in every day to this thing to get fired up, because there are days I don't feel like eating what I got to eat, don't feel like working out, but I got to do it because discipline is what makes me have the success I want. So in the discipline of what I was doing, I found myself in a space where I go, all right, good. I can actually stay up and do this. And even though I don't want to do it, the result I'm seeking will come to pass if I stay disciplined to the plan, the process. It's exactly what you have to do, but doing it's kind of hard because no one unpacks how do you get disciplined? How do you stay disciplined? And what I found is with so many things available for us, it's separation between whether or not we can stay disciplined over the long haul to achieve it. And when I mean a lot of things available to us, I mean possible tools, softwares, programs, all these things. And if you can kind of figure out what the most useful ones are, you can use it in the way that best suits you. Because what works for me might not work for you. So honestly, I wish I could say I do this, and what I did was these 5 things, do them, no problem, it'll work for you. Can't guarantee that. But I can guarantee if you focus on discipline, you can utilize different tools that'll benefit you more than they benefit me, and you'll get the exact same outcome in some amazing way that even I couldn't predict or you couldn't predict. But it starts with actually stepping in and going, I'm gonna figure it out. So these steps I'm gonna break down for you. If you do them, they will actually help you build unbreakable self-discipline. So the first one is you must stop, like I already talked about, seeking motivation and be disciplined. And here's the interesting thing. Discipline needs a plan, not a feeling. Here's why. If I'm gonna look at the word discipline, you break it down, disciple, plan. In a simple way, this might not be perfect, but disciple, to follow, plan, to follow a plan. So if your plan's emotion, what do you do when there's no emotion? What if you don't have because the motivation is the emotion. So if I don't wake up motivated, I got no plan, I can't stay disciplined anymore. So what happens? I don't get the result. I stop right here. This is as far as I go. The next stage doesn't open up to me. But what if I go, you know what? I got an idea of what I want to do. Here is my plan. I actually craft and structure a very specific plan. Now I know Some people have no idea how to plan. It's a different video. Go look for it. I promise you'll find it. On understanding how to craft a proper plan for you. And to be honest, the planning part for most people should be the harder part. It should take more mental drain to do that because it's harder to plan than it is to execute. In my opinion, the thinking through of all the dynamics of what has to be brought into the field of play to organize a plan that I trust to take action on, when I trust the plan, I can flow. Take the action. It's hard, but it's a physical hard. It's an emotional, momentary hard, not a brain thinking, processing hard. When I'm past that point, I can trust the flow. It's amazing. It's like going, hey, you know what? Football, basketball, soccer, I'm going to trust the coach's thinking. Coach, tell me where to go. I'll execute. That's way easier than going, let me think of the game plan and then teach everybody and then go run the game plan. It's hard. It's why there's coaches and players. It's a separation on purpose in that manner. So the idea is you got to create a plan, craft it, structure it, figure out what it's got to be so that you feel a little more comfortable stepping into what you do. And you also have this, I want to say not a motivation, but an idea or a commitment to being disciplined. Commitment's an emotion also. But if I can wake up and go, you know what? This is what I'm doing. If you've ever seen the Kobe Bryant videos, it talks about I'm not negotiating with myself. At the beginning of the season, I made a contract with myself. Here's what the contract says. I don't negotiate the contract once the contract's been signed. I love it. It's what he says. It's a true, amazing identity and mentality, the Mamba mentality of how you flow. And so if you can think about that, it's huge. Step 2, cut the clutter in your life and in your mind. Now, this is kind of a double-edged sword here. We're going to talk first about cutting the clutter in your life. Get rid of things you don't need. Clear your space. Have open working space to move around and flow. And I literally mean to move around and flow. You should have a space that is free from distractions that don't ping and make noise and bother you. You should have a cleaner area or a space you can work and write and do your thing without getting distracted or picking something up and getting pulled off into some direction. So when it comes to being disciplined, clear the clutter. If you got a gym you work out in, keep your gym clean. Keep it organized. Keep your clothes organized. Like, keep things organized. So you're not spending time moving around finding things. It's wasted mental energy, to be quite honest. But that also deters and detracts from your ability to stay disciplined because it can throw you off track and make you go, oh, why? I'm not organized, so I can't find my shoes, so I'm not going to get my run today. Right? Something seems small and simple, but it happens. And so what I recommend is clearing clutter, organize your life. It makes you feel like you got a small win and you feel more confident moving forward. Now, mental clutter. A lot of us got a lot of ideas. I got a lot of ideas that they don't disappear. Fortunately and unfortunately, these ideas, they're stuck in my head. Can't get them out of my head. But it's not a bad thing because I know how to organize them in a way that frees me from mental clutter. One of the hard things about being disciplined to a plan or a process is when I'm working on a task, I'm thinking about other tasks. So when you're doing that, you can't actually get the progress made on the task that's written into that moment in time because your mental ability is pulled away or your mental focus is pulled away from that thing. So you can't give it the all you promised you'd give it. So when you're working on project A, project B, C, and D that don't have a structured place or aren't sitting somewhere, they're cluttered up in your mind, they're detracting from your ability to be efficient and effective in what you're creating. So what I recommend doing is getting an organized manner of how you can dump your ideas, literally a brain dump. It should be a place you just go, done with this, dump it somewhere. And I'm serious, like here's an idea, here's where it goes. I have stuff for my dark work coaching programs, for my Speak to Freedom coaching programs, for family stuff, for book ideas, for podcast ideas, for content ideas. I don't want to keep it in my head. If I keep it in my head, I can't be focused. So I drop things all over the place in very specific areas where I can then go follow back up, reread that note I made to myself, and I can get that task done. But if I'm sitting here doing, let's say, videos and filming for you, but I got all these things in my brain, I can't actually be as effective and clear of thought as I am when I'm talking to you right now. So you have to clear your mental clutter. Step 3 is you got to make a schedule. I know you probably haven't done this. It's not a to-do list. I'm not saying make a to-do list that says, I'm doing this today. I mean an actual schedule. Something that says, I get up at this time in the morning. I do this when I get up. I do this. I eat this thing. I work out at this moment in time. I do work at this window of time. I may stretch at this time, write emails this time, whatever it is, put it in there. If you're driving somewhere, write your travel schedule in. Here's where I'm going to be at this point. I'm traveling from this point to this point during this time. You have to make a schedule because it creates rhythm. See, if you want to get to the point of being able to have this flow, this structure to your life, you've got to create a rhythm to what you're doing. See, self-discipline is more so a rhythm. And as you go through this creation of a rhythm, that discipline becomes something where it takes less thought, less actual cognitive processing to get this thing done because, well, it's Wednesday. I do this on Wednesday. That's in my schedule. It's Monday. I do this on Mondays. It's in my schedule. The more I do it, the more rhythm ensues, the more I feel comfortable. And now I'm doing things effortlessly in the direction of what I want to accomplish. And that's a beautiful thing, to be in a space of what I call effortless effort. I do the thing, not that stressful, I get it done, because eventually you'll be exposed to a new opportunity you want to pursue. But you can't stop doing the thing you're already doing. You have to keep doing that thing. And if it takes up so much of your prefrontal cortex's processing, then you can't even step into the new thing and take that on. So what happens, you look at this opportunity you can't pursue because you can't get this other one to be efficient and effective because you're not disciplined and have rhythm with it. So create a schedule you can follow and move. Number 4, get accountability. I got somebody I meet with every 2 weeks, hop on a call and I go, hey, here's what I'm gonna get done. He says, here's what I'm gonna get done. And we meet every 2 weeks and go, did you do it? Yes? No? What happened? Why not? What we doing next week? Now the goal is to show up and never be the person who missed the thing. That's always it. Can I show up and not be the person who misses a thing? That's it. And realistically, that's all you should have. The person's accountability partner is not a babysitter. Their job is not to be there to hold your hand, to call you and check up and make sure you got stuff done. It's to sit with you as an adult and go, I made a commitment to you. You made a commitment to me. Did I meet it as an adult should? That's it. But this person is huge. It has been shown in studies that a person who has an accountability partner is 83% more likely to accomplish their goals. By simply having somebody keeping you on track, it helps you stay disciplined. To have somebody there saying, hey, stay disciplined. You're not only accountable to yourself, because we'll let ourselves down. Unfortunately, I'm human too. We'll let ourselves down. But the idea is, can you keep in mind that somebody else is now a part of the loop? And if you let them down, it's going to suck. It really will suck to let them down and you down, because now you lose their respect. So when you choose that person, choose someone you respect, and you will feel bad if you let them down. Step 5, last step of this, fall in love with the day, not just the destination. See, discipline is really, it's a key part of reaching a destination, an end of a journey at some point in time. But if our mental focus is always on that place and where I'm at, where I got to get to, then what happens is I see at all times the distance between where I am and where I want to be. And I find that I'm not focused on the small incremental steps towards it. I just know I'm not there. So I feel a certain way. So what happens is my discipline to the day diminishes because I keep giving myself this point of, look, you're not there, you're not there, you're not there. But if you can fall in love with the day, if you can fall in love with the steps that'll eventually get you there, your focus comes off the peak of the mountain and down to the feet and the shrubs and the animals and the flowers and all the things in your area. You can fall in love with the day, but you just keep the motion. You keep getting up, doing the thing, going the path, whatever, you keep that motion. And what happens at some point, you'll pop your eyes up and go, oh, I'm at the peak of the mountain. That's the mentality you must operate with. That's the one that all successful people operate with. It's not always about the big hurrah spikes and jumps of, doing something crazy. The big focus is, how can I make sure that what I planned for this day got done on this day? That you can't see my schedule right now, but it is chock full of colors and everything. And my goal is to get what I've told myself I'd get done every day. If I can do that every day, then all of a sudden I'll wake up one day and go, I've reached the people I want to reach. I've created the life I want to create. I've done the things I planned on doing. I wasn't focusing every day on not being there, because then I'd have this disheartened emotion, which is opposite of the motivation. And at times you might need a little kick in the pants. You might need some motivation. Your accountability partner might be the person that comes and gives it to you. But if you are counteracting your ability to have motivation with kicking yourself in the butt every time or in the face and getting mad at yourself because you aren't at X point, because you're focused on just the destination, you're at some point going to have a negative motivation. You will not want to move. So the idea is fall in love with the day, not just the destination. If you're going to apply these 5 things to your discipline plan or your goal of being disciplined, you'll find that these will transfer amazingly to have you have great success in the long run. It may not happen tomorrow, next week, next month, but you do this for a year, inevitably your life will be night and day different. It can't not be. So do this work. Now, if you enjoyed this video, if you liked it, it was something that hit you in a good way, I got more. This right here is one of them. I believe this will hit you in the right way as well. So check this bad boy out. And as always, do the dark work so you can make shift happen.